Hi everybody. Welcome to Chess Land. This video, a complete guide for chess beginners. If you wish to learn chess, then this is the video for you. Chess is the most popular, and one of the oldest game in world. Chess teaches, think before doing, and how to approach a problem. And also develops creativity. So learn chess, and enjoy the feel of chess. If you wish, learn all about chess game, improve your skills, and become an excellent chess player. Then this is the channel for you. Subscribe Chessland, and keep watching videos. Chess is a classic two-person board game. It is played with specially designed pieces. On a square board of 64, alternating light and dark squares. Arranged in 8 rows and columns. Both players sit across from one another, face to face, to start the game. Set up the chessboard, as shows in video. Each player has white or light color square in the bottom right hand side. Remember the rhyme, white on the right, to help you set up the board. The first step in learning chess is knowing the specially designed, different pieces. Each player gets 16 pieces to start the game. There are 6 different types of chess pieces. See the list of pieces, including how many of each these pieces is on one side. Pawn, 8 pieces, knight 2 pieces, bishop 2, rook 2, queen 1, and king 1. In order to play chess, you need to know how to properly place the pieces on a chessboard. Chess pieces are always arranged the same way, as shown in this video. At the start of each chess game, on the 2 rows nearest to each player. Regarding the pieces, second row for each side, arrange all pawns. The first row should be set up all other pieces. Rooks belongs to the corner squares, and knights set up next to the rooks. Bishops belongs next to knights, as guard of king and queen. The queen always stands on the square of her own color. The white-colored queen must stand on the white-colored square. And the black-colored queen stand on black-colored square. And finally, set the kings next to the queens. Each side's king and queen should be facing each other. Remember, white always moves first, then alternate turns throughout the game. The first move can be made with either the pawns or the knights. These are the only 2 chess pieces that have legal moves on first turn. The rooks are particularly powerful pieces when they are protecting each other and working together. Rook can move any number of vacant squares, vertically or horizontally, that means forward, backward, and to the sides. It also is moved while castling. But they cannot move diagonally, and cannot jump over other pieces. Players cannot take or move through their own pieces. Capture your opponent's pieces, landing on the same space as an opponent's piece, and removing them from the game. Protect your own pieces, while you try to capture your opponent's pieces. The knights look like horse, and move in a very different way from the other pieces. Going 2 squares in one direction, and then one more move, at a 90-degree angle. Just like the shape of an L. Knights are also the only pieces that can move over other pieces. Knights have the ability to move over their own pieces. Knights are the only pieces that jump off the board. Unlike other pieces, they are not blocked if there are pieces between them and their destination square. To make it easier to remember how a knight moves, think of an L. If there is any opponent piece on destination square, knights can capture them. Bishops move in continuous diagonal lines in any direction, but only diagonally. The 2 bishops per side each start on a different colored square, one light and one dark. Naturally, bishops can only move diagonally on squares of the color they start on. Bishops cannot move onto a square that is not the same color as its starting square. Bishops work well together, because they cover up each other's weaknesses. For capturing, simply goes to same space as an opponent's piece, and removing them from the game. The queen is the most powerful piece. She can move in any one straight direction, forward, backward, sideways, or diagonally, as far as possible, as long as the queen can move, as far as possible, until she either captures an opposing piece, or gets to any of her pieces. The queen controls 28 squares of the chessboard, while placed in the center. Queen can move to any square, along rank, file, or diagonal, on which it stands. You can think of a queen as a piece that combines powers of both bishop and a rook. She does not move through any of her own pieces. And, like with all pieces, if the queen captures an opponent's piece, her move is over. Every chess piece is important, but always remember, queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. The first thing to understand, the king is the piece the entire game revolves around. The most important piece in chess is the king. However, the king is also one of the weakest pieces in chess. The king can only move one square in any direction, up, down, to the sides, and diagonally. A king cannot move to a square that is under attack by the opponent. When the king is attacked by another piece, this is called check. Always try to keep the king in a position where protected, and can also escape, if necessary. Pawn is the most common piece on the board. There are total of 8 pawns for each side in the beginning. Pawns are very unique chess piece. Pawns can only move forward, never moving, or capturing backwards. On the first move, a pawn can move 1 or 2 spaces. Every subsequent move can only be 1 space. Let's see the highlighted pawns. White pawn moves 2 squares, and black moves 1 square. Each of these highlighted pawns now could only move 1 square forward. See, this white pawn moves 1 square. Black also move 1 square. White turn, pawn moves 1 square. Again black goes 1 square. You may be thinking, white can capture black pawn. But, you cannot. Because pawns move and capture differently. They only capture pieces diagonally. See, this white pawn moves 2 square forward. Now black pawns can capture this white pawn. When a pawn reaches the other side of the chessboard, row, or rank 8, the pawn becomes another chess piece. This is known as pawn promotion. After your pawn reaches this position, you can choose to exchange your pawn for a queen, rook, bishop, or knight. As part of the same move, the new piece is replaced on the same square that the pawn reached back row. Let's see another example. After your pawn reaches the last row, it can be changed for any other piece of its own color, except the king. En passant is a special movement for pawns, attacking pawns. It only applies if your opponent moves a pawn 2 spaces on its first move, and its destination space is next to your pawn. You can capture the opposing piece by moving forward diagonal to your pawn's attack square. En passant, meaning in passing in French. Let's see this example to better understand. Now, in this position, if black pawn to move 1 square, white pawn can capture this black pawn. This is normal. If the same black pawn move 2 square instead of 1 square, for avoid capture by white pawn. But still white pawn have the option for capture. By moving diagonally, to highlighted square, white can capture black pawn. This rule's called, en passant. This special move, must be done immediately, otherwise the option, to capture it is no longer available. You cannot wait to do it on any other turn after. Suppose, white doesn't capture immediately, and instead plays some other move. Black also moves some other piece. Now white can no longer available, en passant option. One other special chess rule, is called castling. And it involves king and rook. This move allows you to do, two important things, all in one move. First, get your king to safety. Second, get your rook out of the corner, and into the game. Remember this following conditions, before you going to do castling. It must be, that king's very first move. It must be, that rook's very first move. There cannot be, any pieces between, the king and rook to move. The king may not be in check, or pass through check. Language of chess game, that means. Chess notation, is a convenient way to keep track of games. So that, you can replay them, to study tactics, understand mistakes. If you want to improve your chess game, one of the first things, you should learn is how to read, and write chess notation. Let's see this video, for better understand, about chess notation. The columns of squares, on the chessboard, are called files. This video now showing files. Files are listed, as the letters, A through H. Starting from, the white player's, left side. The rows of squares, on the chessboard, are called ranks. This video now showing ranks. The ranks are, labeled from, 1 to 8. Starting with, the side of the board with, the white pieces. Let's see some examples, for understand easily, about notation. E, 4. C, 6. G, 2. A, 7. After defining the board, defining the pieces is the next step. A unique letter is assigned, to every single piece. See the list, including points of each piece. Capital letters are used, for defining each piece. P for pawn. P is usually omitted from notation, only given destination square. N for knight. B, bishop. R, rook. Q, queen. K, king. Also you can see, the points of each piece. See the list of, some special symbols, in notation. Let's see, this highlighted movements, for understand easily, about notation. When the king is being attacked directly by an opponent's piece, we say that, the king is in check. In this video, now the white king is being checked, by the black queen. If the king is in check, it must be made safe immediately. There are, only 3 ways, a king can get out of check. First way, the king may move to a square, which is not being attacked. See this example, king moves to f1. Second option. Block the check with another piece. See, in this video, check blocked, by rook. And third option. Capture the piece, threatening the king. In this example black queen captured by white queen, and avoid check threaten. If the king is in check, and cannot get out of check, then we say the king is checkmated, and the game is lost. In this example, the black queen checks, the white king. There is no way to get out of check. So white is checkmated, and has lost the game. Stalemate means, a player's turn to act, but their king is not in check, and they do not have any legal move. See this example of stalemate, black do not have any legal move, and king is not in check. So, this match end with a draw. See another example of stalemate. Congratulations, you are ready to start playing. We have covered the basic rules of chess. Now you know enough to start playing. If you think it's a useful video, please share to your friends. Your support is very important. Show your support as likes and comments. For getting more tips and tricks, please subscribe Chessland channel. Okay, thank you.